Are you missing the 3 traits that relationship experts say are key to a successful relationship and partnership? So jumping right in, the first trait is emotional intelligence. Do you or your partner have emotional intelligence? And why this is important is because when you have high emotional intelligence, you are much able to engage with people in a healthier way. You can be more empathetic, more understanding. Your ability to listen and to actually hear what is being said and communicated to you. You are more likely to be responsive instead of reactive. And that is why the emotional intelligence is actually not even for relationships, romantic relationships and partnerships, but just in everyday life. It's a really great skill to have, because you then will have the ability to read the room and read your partner. And this is a good skill because then you can change yourself, not in the point of changing who you are, but just being able to connect in a way that's going to be like viable and heard and just connecting at the same level as your partner or anybody else. So that is the first one. If you don't have emotional intelligence in your relationship, or you think that yourself or your partner have low emotional intelligence, don't worry, these kind of things can be learned. There's tons of stuff out there. There's actually a book on emotional intelligence just to give you a bigger, broader and better understanding about it. So the second trait that the relationships experts say is key to a successful relationship is shared values and goals. And why this is important is because if you value as a partner quality time spent together, and you're really in tune with the love languages and you want to connect in that way with your partner, but their values are that, oh no, you have to succeed at work and that has to be the priority, then you're not really going to be aligned with that. And also with the goals as well. If one of you wants to build an empire and the other one doesn't, they just want a really easy life, really laid back, really chilled, then you're not going to be aligned. If one of you wants a family and the other one doesn't, if one of you wants to travel the world and the other one doesn't, that can happen and be okay if you're both all right with that time apart. But if you don't want that, then you're just not aligned. And it's going to be a lot harder in working through the relationship and making a success when your values and goals are not aligned. And so one thing that you can do with your partner, you can actually write down, what are my values? What values do we have that are the same? What beliefs do we have that are the same, that give us shared values? What are the goals for our relationship and individually? And see where you're aligned and see where you can get into the same book, onto the same page as one another. So the last one on the list is actually the conscious communication. So this for me is a big one. Being able to communicate effectively, consciously, and it's very similar to the emotional intelligence. But the difference with this is that you are skilling up, or you've been skilled up in how to communicate in a healthy way, because you can feel empathic, you can feel what somebody needs. It doesn't necessarily mean you have the best tools to be able to know what to say. And so as an example for conscious communication, if your partner or yourself, let's just say you are triggered and you are upset, your partner has wore something that you think is not appropriate for the work's Christmas party, let's say. And so you are not happy with that. So to communicate that in a conscious way, you could say, I've noticed that I feel a bit triggered when you wear these particular clothes in this environment. Okay, so you're not saying, you've done this, why do you have to always wear those clothes? Why are you wearing it in this environment? You're saying, I can recognize in myself that I have a problem when this happens. Okay. So with that, that's like the first step, is being able to communicate what your issue is, what your problem is, what your needs are, but in a healthy way. So your partner, firstly, in a way of consciously communicating, would need to kind of mirror back or paraphrase back really what it is that they think you've said. And the reason for this is because so much can get lost in translation, even when your people are speaking together, and especially if they're triggered. So that's why it's really important that the other person tries to paraphrase back, oh, okay, so you feel upset, or you can feel that it triggers you when I'm at work or when I'm at the works do and I'm wearing these, whatever clothes. And your partner can say yes. So then you have to empathize and try and put yourself in your partner's shoes. Oh, okay, well, I can see why that could bother you, because, I know that you've had jealousy in the past, or I know that you've had partners cheat on you in the past, or I know that, it's a little bit, you sometimes can feel a little bit insecure with that. And with me wearing that, I can see how that could then upset you. So you're kind of just acknowledging their feelings, even whether you agree or not. It's just acknowledging where they're at. Okay, so you can see this is a two-way thing. It's not a one-side street. But can you see how much healthier already communicating in that way when a trigger comes up? It's just so much healthier than you did this or you did that, or, anything. For me personally, like that is just really toxic. And I really don't think we help each other grow when we speak in that way to one another in connections. So you can see why the relationship experts then have come to that fact that when you have these three things, emotional intelligence, so you can connect as adults and understand, so you're having those shared values and goals, so you are on the same page, and being able to have conscious communication, communicating effectively what your needs are, what your triggers are in a healthy way, because then it's going to stop the other person from being triggered when you can communicate in a healthy way. Anyway, I hope this video has been really helpful. I'm going to put a link in the description for one particular book, which is called Getting the Love That You Want. And that book has amazing exercises in that book that you can do with your partner. And so what I explained about healthy ways of communicating, they've got it broken down just absolutely wonderfully. All right, so much love and blessings. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.